it's not the dog that we wanted.
Yes.
Because we're like, oh man, this dog is, he's pulling us, he's aggressive to others, and this is not what we wanted in a dog. Little did we know that we'd allowed him to become that, rather than telling him, hey, we got it. Well, we've had 3 sessions.
Yeah.
And we've just sat and had a meal, and Eddie's been perfect on his spot the whole time.
He has.
He's had people come up and talk to him, and he's been good as gold. That's the first time we've been out with him since the 3rd session.
Which, before we met Jay, we thought we would never get that.
It was impossible. never do that at all.
Way, but when you knocked at the door and Dawn opened the door, I could see was this huge figure at the doorway, and I thought to myself, this is not going to go well. I think the hardest part for us was the first time when you had left and we went to walk him, and we got these new instructions how to walk him, was just to keep doing that stopping and starting constantly. We never got to walk the dog.
Well, we would think in our minds, you've got to walk him a mile, you've got to walk him 2 miles every day. Whereas he was getting more exercise by just going 100 yards down the street by stopping 25 times.
Yeah, and that was hard at first because you're like, this is ridiculous. And then you realised we were getting further steps and more steps to where, 2-3 weeks later, we're realising we don't have to keep stopping now.
And we're the ones in training, not the dog.
Yeah. The very first time you came in and you sat down, and I think you talked to us for about an hour and a half. And when you left, and we didn't really talk about this, but I was like, oh, you didn't even interact with the dog at all, you know what I mean? I'm like, what was that? And but you already gave us our first lesson without realising we got our first lesson.
Yeah.
You know, and then, but it does take a bit of work from us as well to make sure. But when you came back the next time, he had changed a little bit, or he had learned something. You know what I mean? So you do have to put the work in yourself. And when you leave, we will still keep putting out what we've learned. We've watched all the videos and all the TV programs and stuff like that. There's nothing like having someone like you come around and actually physically show us what we need to be doing and stuff like that, because TV doesn't give you the same.
It doesn't give you the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch videos all day long, but when you actually, and your words, the way that you apply it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember him saying that before, I remember it again now.
We
Whereas,
never had a walk where he didn't pull. Now we have a walk where we stroll.
he's right there with us.
Right there with us, so that's nice.
And it's so nice. Walk past instruction work, and we can walk past people, we can walk past dogs, and